Hi, welcome to Arizona Metro News. Today we are talking with Abraham Doe. He is an author, producer, and business consultant, and we are very excited to have him on the show today. Without further ado, please welcome Abraham Doe. Hi, Abraham.
Hello, Coreen.
How are you?
I am good. I'm good, thank you.
Good. Well, welcome to the show. We're so excited to have you here today. I understand that you're an author, a producer, and a business consultant. That's quite a bit.
Yes, it is.
And
Uh,
you live
yeah,
here in Arizona?
I do. I've lived here for the last 15 years, originally from New York City, uh, and did my studies at Brooklyn College and Pace University, and had an opportunity to be an economics professor for 17 years, and started moving the family across the country where the jobs would require me to go. And so we've seen a bit of America. We've lived and seen Georgia, Atlanta, Houston, Indianapolis, of course, New Jersey. Uh, I was in Canada for 4 years, and now Phoenix for the last 15 years.
Wow. So after 15 years, I imagine you've acclimated to the 120-degree summer days.
Yes, wow. Growing up in New York, I would see the temperatures on TV, and I didn't believe it. I thought they can't be right. And when I got here, it was 106 or
You learned the hard way. It's true.
something.
Oh, well, thank you for being here today. We're just so excited to have you. And so as an author, it sounds like can you tell me some of the books that you've written about? And what are you creating with that?
Sure. Well, literally 20 years ago, I wrote a book, eerie title, entitled Lucifer, Genesis to Anno Domini. That's on Amazon and available everywhere. I was curious about the theological aspects of good and evil, having grown up as a preacher's son. Um, but since then, four books in particular, I've felt inspired to write within the last since 2020. 2020 has had that much of an impact. The first one was the hopefully the next script of the show for the trial 2020. It's called Sex Rated R, and it deals with abortion. And I believe the solution to abortion is a simple one. So that's what that book is about. And then the book after that um, is called If Ahmaud Arbery Was White, Next Steps for America After uh, the Assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The book after that was Survival Tips for African Americans because they need them. And and the book after that, the most recent book, is The Way Forward for African Americans. I'm trying to help. I've been around for a while. I was born the year John F. Kennedy became president, so I've been around. I've been around a while, and I've got lots and lots of relatives in many cities, and so I'm interested in some of these problems getting fixed.
Can you hear? Okay. So I love the books that obviously the you've recently written some of the books because they're obviously very related to what's going on today. Uh, what is Trial 2020 about? Is that one of the books?
No, that's a TV episodic, actually. So, um, undergrad, I did my undergraduate in accounting, but one four-credit class, I fell in love with film 30 something years ago. And film is a absolutely powerful vehicle for discussion, just like music, but I believe film is even stronger. I've always loved film. And so Trial 2020 is a TV episodic, much like Law and Order, but instead of court cases that deal with violent crimes, Trial 2020 are federal court cases that deal with social issues that result in right and wrong being defined in the country. So, for example, and so we've got some episodes on Amazon right now, and we've had some on Channel 7 here in Phoenix. One episode is about common law marriage. Common law marriage is still in the books in 9 states, but it's not enforced. Well, a lady goes ahead and gets it enforced in Texas, and follows her ex-fiance to New York City, where he did get married in City Hall, and now he is facing literally federal felony bigamy charges. So the federal court has to decide, okay, what are we going to do with this? Another episode that is on Amazon is about in New York and Colorado, women have fought to be able to walk outside topless, as just like men do. And New York and Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, have allowed it. So the other episode, a lady walks outside topless, and this poor guy crashes his car, and so now and kills a popular dog in the process. And now the court has to decide, well, was this negligence or indecent exposure? So it's a little bit of comedy, but it's drama, and we've got a bunch of episodes, and I'm talking to people now because with what's going on, it also hopefully will be a vehicle to have conversation to fix some of these serious problems we've got.
Wow, that's amazing. It sounds like the show is really kind of challenging some of the laws that are on the books and then like really examining how practical these laws are and where they can kind of get, in that gray area where they're not really, you know, wise to have on the books.
You hit the nail on the head. Exactly.
Yeah.
I really, literally, I did this. We've got obviously got the case of quote unquote bad cops. We are now acutely aware of that. I hope an episode will deal with quote unquote bad judges, because it's not right if a judge has the same body of facts with two criminals, and he gives one criminal 2 years and another criminal 26 years. There's something wrong with the judicial system. So that's another example of what I hope the show will deal with.
That's going to be amazing. There was a judge, I just read an article about a judge who was actually getting bribery money for giving harsher sentence to people of color. Did you hear about that as well?
I did not, but I did hear about the judge in Pennsylvania about 6 years ago that for 28 years he was basically um, um, indicting or giving sentences to African Americans and getting paid by the penal system. So that might be the case. He was doing it for 28 years in Pennsylvania before he was stopped. And so, just as fortunately this terrible situation with George Floyd was filmed and we know about it, and Ahmaud Arbery was filmed and we know about it, hopefully we start looking at what's going on in the judgeships as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's going to be an amazing series, and I'm really glad that you're doing that work. It's really important to bring exposure to that. And I understand that we also have a series that Arizona Metro News is going to be producing for you called Witness Stand America. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that got birthed about the same time as Trial 2020, 7 years ago. And Witness Stand America is it's not so much that America is on the witness stand, but there is a witness stand, and people need to start answering for quote unquote right and quote unquote wrong. And so any topic that is relevant gets handled there on that forum. And I'm really excited that AZ Metro is interested in helping take that forth. There's lots of things to talk about. Going back to abortion real quick, I say that it's fairly easy to deal with. Take 30 seconds or 60 seconds and tell you that I look at abortion as a DUI, as one might look at a DUI. People are allowed to drink, but people got upset because individuals are being irresponsible with their drinking. So they require you may drink, but you need to be responsible. And so similarly, I think the answer to abortion is obviously you're right. You have a right to have sex. You need to be responsible. And so I believe I believe pro-choice and pro-life can both coexist. It is pro-choice up to consummation, and if you don't know what consummation is, you shouldn't be having sex. But it's pro-choice up to consummation, and after that, it's pro-life. And the child of that, pun intended, the child of pro-choice and pro-life is pro-responsibility. Before you have sex, figure out if you want a child, and if you don't want a child, be doggone careful when you engage. And because if you do, I believe that the courts need to start having medical professionals responsible. If you have not been responsible, I'm talking about not criminal cases and not cases with medical risks. So about 90% of the cases are consensual. So be responsible. And if you're not, well, the medical profession is not going to be allowed to help you. And I believe that's where I believe that's the solution, as controversial as that may sound.
Well, that I definitely think that sounds controversial. So
I'm going to go and hide now because
you
women are
just
going to be after me.
you just opened a whole can of worms there. I think we need about 3 hours to have this conversation.
Yeah, that was a 60-second version. I hope to put it on. That's why film is good. So I've got Jared Brown. I asked Jared Brown. Jared Brown is the writer of Juice. Juice was Tupac Shakur
Oh yeah.
and I asked him, Jared, I need your help with this script. Come aboard. And so he hasn't said no yet, and he's I hope he says yes, because we need to get this film done.
Well, and I look forward to seeing that. And I agree with you. I think I remember when I was growing up, one of the somebody taught me, because I was kind of fearful of the word responsibility. It felt so ominous and overwhelming. I was like, oh my God, that's just too heavy for me. And somebody said responsibility is just the ability to respond. You know,
Oh, I like that.
I did too. It
Wow.
sunk in and it made me feel like it was something I could actually manage. It's just the ability to respond to a situation appropriately.
I like that. I thank you.
Yeah,
That
you
was good.
feel free to use it.
I'm going to use that. I like that.
So if we have people, I just want to let our viewers know that they're free to support you. If we're looking for some sponsorship for you and people can contact you directly, do you have they can reach out to you on Facebook? This is for the Witness Stand America, the series, as well as probably for your film. So if people want to reach out to you, they can find you on Facebook.
Yes, absolutely. On Facebook, there's Trial 2020 on Facebook, and there's also Witness Stand America on Facebook. I am also presently live on Facebook under my name, Abraham Doe. If things get big and crazy, I may not be that live anymore, but I can be reached on Facebook. Um, and I also on Twitter, I have a handle, Film Analyst Abraham on Twitter. And also, I have an email address, Abraham at thetrial2020.com.
Okay, perfect. Well, it sounds like this is going to wrap up our show for today. Is there anything left that you would like to say before we conclude?
No, I am excited about AZ Metro. You guys are you're in the you're in the epicenter of something. I had no idea 2020 was going to be this when I thought of Trial 2020 when it came to me 7 years ago. We are in the middle of something. I'm not exactly sure what myself, but I'm glad to see AZ Metro on spot. So thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you. We're so excited to be there to support you and to get this material out. It'll be an amazing adventure for us all. So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you. I really appreciate the work that you're up to. It's a really important conversation for us to be having in general right now, like with the corruption with the police and the judges and, you know, the Amy Coopers of the world out there doing some of these crazy things. We're going to, you know, I think more endeavors like yours that are going to be putting the spotlight on that and just really engaging in community conversation is going to be paramount to making transitions and to changing that dynamic, the systemic racism, just even the programming in people's minds. So I acknowledge you, and I really appreciate that you're out there doing that work.
Thank you, Coreen, for what you're doing and what AZ Metro is doing, and Christopher Langell. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for being on the show. And
Absolutely.
I want to thank all of our viewers out there. Again, if we just appreciate you being here watching the show, and do reach out to Abraham. We're looking for sponsors and any kind of support and contribution you can give to him for his projects and everything that he's up to. In the meantime, we're going to sign off for today. Thank you so much for being here with Arizona Metro News.